Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 242. Get back to basics. Welcome to the main event.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Get back to basics. For a lot of people, basics has a negative connotation, almost like a punishment. You have to go backwards and start at the beginning instead of being able to work on whatever advanced material. But getting back to your basics and practicing your basics can be very liberating. So if you find that there's a lot of busyness in your life, if you've got confusion, if you've got frustration, if you've got indecisiveness and indecision, if you've got grumpiness, if you've got lack of focus, lethargy, lack of motivation, all of these things, yes, could absolutely be attributed to tiredness. But it's often underlooked that they also could be a direct result of overcomplication and overwhelm in your life. So having an overwhelmed life, too many things going on, an overcomplicated life, a life that is full of stress, a life that is full of anxiousness, you need to whittle it back down to the basics. So it can be very empowering, it can be very liberating, and it can actually free you from a daily jail sentence that feels like you're not going in the right place, that leads to insecurity, underconfidence. So getting back to basics isn't just something that, is meant as a punishment. I would like to remind you of, or maybe you haven't heard it before, or certainly I'd like to remind you of it if you have heard it before, and it's a Bruce Lee quote. The Success Sensei wouldn't be the Success Sensei if I didn't refer to some martial arts quotes. And what better one than Bruce Lee's quote? And it is this: it is not the daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. So hack away the unessential. As life goes on, as we get busier, and as we make ourselves busier, and as we, aspire to be or have the appearance of being busy and being busier and having busyness, we are adding a lot of unessential things to our lives, and we're losing that pinpoint laser focus. Now, the acronym KISS, Keep It Simple, Stupid, is a very popular reminder to keep it simple, to go back to the basics, that we're all stupid and we all keep overcomplicating things. So KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So another saying that we've bandied around a lot over these episodes and a lot of people use is the control the controllables. And that's another way of saying go back to basics, because working on basics, working on your foundation is one way to remind yourself of what is important. You're never too good, by the way, to improve your basics, to improve your foundation. You're never too good to improve upon it and become even better. Basics win fights, by the way. Yes, there's a lot of different new age training and there's a lot of complicated machinery and methods, but it's basics that win fights. It's great to see flashy techniques. It's great to see advanced techniques and combinations, but it's simple things like footwork, like working on your timing, your basic 1-2 combinations, keeping your chin down, keeping your guard up, keeping it simple. Only not even 10% of the time going for anything flashy, and even only then is probably when you're actually ahead and you're not the underdog. So it is basics that win fights. Professional athletes need to be reminded of this as soon as they start a brand new training camp. The very first thing that you have to work on is, good tight guard and back to footwork again. And that goes for the top ranked fighters in the world. After, and we're in between fights and they get to just train for fun again, they forget about basics. And it's obviously it's human nature to want to work on more advanced strategies. But as soon as a fight is announced, you have to go back to working on the simple things that win fights. And fighting is a game of millimeters. So accuracy is very, very important. And you only get that through drilling basics. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of new age training, people that come up with new methods and new ideas all the time. But there really is three main things to train. And that is fitness, strength, and flexibility. Now, I don't care what era you're from. Fitness is really simple. Interval running is one of the best things that you can do. You don't need any complex machinery. Interval running, mixing sprints with jogging, with medium speed, and not necessarily doing long distance either. Strength is going to always be the compound exercises, compound lifts, bench pressing, squatting, deadlifting. Flexibility, it's going to involve, lower body doing things like the splits, spinal stretches like the crab, or even doing different types of bridges. But it's generally going to involve a little bit more than just trying to touch your toes. So there's three things: fitness, strength, flexibility. I don't care what era you're from. I don't care what advanced techniques are, what's being proven to be right, what's being proven to be wrong, or what additional training or supplementary things that you do. Breaking it down to the basics, those things that I've just mentioned are really simple, don't require any complex machinery, doesn't require a lot of money, and it's the best way to work on your fitness, your strength, and flexibility, besides all and everything else. You won't want to start something if it does seem to be far too hard. So that's another reason why you should try to break it down to what works and to basics, because traditional methods work. Don't turn your back on traditional methods because it's old. I understand that Facebook, social media, all these things make people believe they're living in a brand new world. And I mean, every generation thinks that they invented absolutely everything themselves. They think they're the first generation to experience certain human experiences. But when you actually read back in history, people were a hell of a lot more learned and a hell of a lot more experienced than we'd give them credit. And it's the same with traditional methods, that they do work. Don't turn your nose up at traditional methods. By all means, bring things forward and future-proof certain things, but that doesn't mean that you don't look to the past to learn. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Eliminate some of the noise, go back to basics. I guarantee you, your daily life is filled with a lot of things that aren't necessary and a lot of distractions. All of us do it. Again, it's human nature. And that's why you need to do a regular audit in business or in your job or in your sport or on your path to success and your goals. You probably need to reduce things and not constantly increase things to make them overcomplicated. So reduce to what is important to you. Sometimes, for that laser pinpoint focus that I was talking about, less is more. And simplifying things could help you towards your goals and on your path to success. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.